All right, so now let's talk about what are opportunities. Opportunities are the stages or workflow your client's going to go through in our system. So on the opportunities page right here, you can create new pipelines by clicking this button and adding the pipelines, modifying them by using the pencil. When we're in it here, you can select by date ranges, how you want to see people. You can select certain dates and times for past and present and anything in that variation. You can change the different pipelines you're looking at. You can look at everybody or specific people. You can look at them by specific campaigns if you have anything going on. And then you can look at it by whether they're open, won, lost, or abandoned. So it kind of helps you find them. Generally, most people are going to keep them in the open section and go from there. So the way this works is when they're in the lead pipeline, the moment somebody is dropped into here, depending on your model, this is automated. Once you automatically drop in there, the client's going to get a text message. A certain number of text messages and phone calls the first week, a certain number of text messages the second week, a certain number of text messages the third week, and then after 3 weeks they get dropped into the abandoned. And they'll continue to get text messages. Along with that, once they hit this, they've got an email set up that they'll get once a month for a year. You don't have to do anything. Once you went to the contact center and you booked the opportunity in this pipeline, the rest will take over automatically. Now, we're going to have a different discussion about how to move clients from won to lost and different things. These are just to discuss the pipeline's flow and movement. Next, we're going to go to the referral pipeline. You should or will get a link specifically designed for your system for referrals. And when you go to that landing page or URL link, it will automatically create the client in this pipeline. So we go to all because we did a test on it. And we put in Jennifer Moore here, and she automatically got labeled as L-referral form. So anytime you fill out that form, that's what's going to show up on your dashboard. So you'll see how well you convert those referrals into actual appointments. Now, she's going to get text message the first week, the second week, the third week, and one more text message on week 4, and that's it. It's not as aggressive because it's not the same style lead, but the system after 7 days will move them over here, 7 days will move them over here, 7 days will move them to abandon. And it's the same with the lead pipeline. It's all automatic. It'll move by itself. Now the estimate pipeline. The moment somebody is put on the schedule, you are going to automatically see them pop up here on the estimate pipeline. Putting them on the schedule is what creates this opportunity. You do not want to create this opportunity by hand, by going to new or create opportunity, because if you're putting them on the schedule, you're creating a duplicate lead in the system. So what's going to happen is this person was made on here by a date. The day before their appointment, they're going to get a reminder. Hey, just wanted to check in and see if tomorrow's still good at 9 o'clock. 1 hour before, they're going to get a reminder. Hey, we're going to be out in an hour. Is it still good? And then 7 days after the appointment, they're automatically going to move over into this follow-up process, week 1, which is going to be an automated text message checking in, see if they had any questions about the proposal, if they were ready to move forward. It also triggers the email campaigns that they'll get once a month for a year automatically. And then 7 days later, they'll move over here, they'll get a text message. 7 days later, they'll move over here and get a text message. 7 days later, they move into the abandoned, they get a text message. And then they'll get, I believe, a 60 or 120 day, depending on how we have your system set up. And then they don't get any more text messages. But they still will get the email for once a month for a year. Now, production pipeline, this is all going to depend on what system you're using and how we've designed it for you, but the basic process for everybody's the same. So for this specific model, when somebody is marked as 1 in the estimate pipeline, it will automatically move the client over to here and drop them in the 1 waiting on call. And then whatever stages you want, it's drag and drop. You can move your client through your process as you need be, and go through that way. Now, we're going to talk about tags later, but there's nothing really here that's automated. Now, if you add the review tag, the next step will be they'll drop them into the review pipeline. And what that'll do is it'll drop them in here. It'll automatically label them review, so you'll see it on your dashboard. The client will get those text messages like we discussed in setup once a week for 4 weeks. Now, if they've left you a review, you'll want to drag the client to 1, or you'll want to click on the card and mark them as 1. If they don't, and you want to get them 5 more, you'll drag them over to stage 2, and they'll get another consecutive 5. If they leave your review, you want to make sure you drop them into 1. If they don't, you drop them into lost. And that way, on your dashboard, you're going to see how many clients actually gave you reviews, what your conversion percent is for reviews. Now, most everybody will have some form of this. Once you've completed the project, you want to drag the client into 1. And what that will do is it'll set up an email campaign for most of you guys, depending on what it is, where they'll get a 1-year follow-up, a 2-year follow-up, just a kind of a check-in email, just reaching back out to your old clients. So the last, depending on what type of system you have, we also have an interviewing process where you can put up an ad somewhere like text work to 911777. And what that'll do is it can send the client a survey, or the employee a survey, I should say, and it'll create the card right here. And then you can decide whether or not you want to interview them. If you want to interview them, you can drag them over to interview. It'll automatically send them an interview link. And there's just an interview process for hiring. This one is set up for painter hiring, but can be for anybody. So those are the different workflows we have right here. Yours could be different or some variations. So it's good to understand what automations are built into your workflows. These are the basics we have set up for everyone. And if you have questions, just let us know.